Hello everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to show you how to color using ink pads. And usually I do most of my coloring with Copic markers, but when I have larger areas such as these, I try to use ink pads just because Copics are so dang expensive. But you can see that I used my Copics on these little items. And by the way, this is exactly how I work it. I stamp all the images from a set on one sheet of paper, and then I just go ahead and color them when I'm on the road and when I'm watching TV, and then I die cut them all at the same time. So I already grabbed ink pad, and the ink pad that I'm using is Sahara Sand Stampin' Up, and I placed some ink on my work area here, and I sprayed it with water. Now I always spray with water, but just on one side of the ink. That way I get different variations of color when I need it. As you can see, that I have lighter shade here and darker shade on the thinner lines and around the squares. So let me show you how I'm doing it. Let's grab some ink here and let's get working. And the only regret that I have is that I am just using a 90-pound paper for this project, and I really should be using a mixed media paper, so it doesn't warp that easily, and I really do think the cards come out much nicer when you're using any kind of water on them. See, I put way too much ink on this area that I just showed you right now, but I still want to show you how you can. It just shows you how you can vary the color with using the ink pads. And here you can see that I'm lighter on the inside, darker on the outside. So I'm going to try to duplicate that if I can. Obviously I have a heavy hand today because I have this whole dark line right here, but that's okay. Maybe we could just assume that it's a shadow of sorts, something like that. Okay, so now let's go to the darker area, and there you go. We're going to use the ink that is not that saturated with water, and just go nicely around each square. And when you're done with the squares, we're gonna go around here, all those little poles. Now it may be easier if you're using a little bit thinner brush. I'm just using whatever I just had on hand, and I just grabbed it, and there you go. But you can get an idea of how nicely you can actually color using your ink pads, and this is something that you actually have on hand. You don't have to go to the store and buy it. I hope you guys like it. Hope you enjoy this technique and you give it a try, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Ta-ta!